Hello students, this is my second class on acid bases. In the last class, we have understood what is acid, what are bases, the indicators and the neutralization reaction. I have also shown you an experiment to show how neutralization reaction takes place. Today we will learn how acids and bases reacts with metals, with carbonates, bicarbonates, the pH scale and some commonly asked question for exam point of view. So first let us start. This is my part 2 lecture on acid base. If you have missed my part 1 lecture, please have a look on it before coming to this lecture. Otherwise it may be difficult for you to understand. Yesterday in my first lecture I have missed one thing, that is alkali. Now what is alkali? Alkalis are water soluble bases. So those bases which are only water soluble, those are known as alkalis. What are bases? We have learned that bases are oxides and hydroxides of metals. But alkalis are those compounds which are only hydroxides of metals. Let me give an example. Suppose calcium oxide, when gets soluble in water, it gives calcium hydroxide. So in this reaction, calcium hydroxide plus water gives calcium hydroxide. In this case, this is a base because this is an oxide of a metal. But this is both base and alkali because this is hydroxide of metal, and hydroxides of metals are alkalis only. So we can say that all bases are, all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis because alkalis are only hydroxides of metal and bases are both hydroxides and oxides of metal. Now we will learn how acids and bases reacts with metals. Metals like zinc, magnesium, they react with both acids and bases to evolve hydrogen gas. Now you already know how you can identify hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas burns with a hissing or a popping sound. So whenever you are given an acid or a base, how do they react with metal? They evolve hydrogen gas. I am giving you one example of each acids and bases. It will be easier for you to understand. Suppose zinc reacts with sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate and evolves hydrogen gas. This is an acid, H2SO4. Now I will give you an example with a base. Zinc reacts with a strong base, sodium hydroxide, to give Na2ZnO2 plus hydrogen gas. So let me try to balance it. Here there will be two. Hope it is balanced now. Okay. So you see, I have taken the example of zinc. Zinc is a metal. This zinc reacts with H2SO4 to give zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. And again this zinc reacts with a strong base, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, to give a salt, sodium zincate, and evolves hydrogen gas. Now how do you understand whether a gas is hydrogen or not? The hydrogen gas burns in air, burns in a flame with a hissing or a popping sound. Students, acids react with carbonates and bicarbonate salt. Acids react with carbonate and bicarbonate salt to evolve carbon dioxide gas. This is very important. So when you are asked that how do acids react with carbonates or a bicarbonate, the main part is it evolves carbon dioxide gas. Now how do you understand it is a carbon dioxide gas? carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. Let me give you two examples of a carbonate and bicarbonate so that it is easier for you. Suppose sodium carbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to give NaCl plus water plus carbon dioxide gas. Here it will be 2 and here it will be 2. So it is a carbonate, sodium carbonate reacts with an acid, hydrochloric acid, to gives a salt NaCl, gives water and evolves carbon dioxide gas. Now reaction of a bicarbonate with an acid. Sodium bicarbonate reacts with hydrochloric acid to form the same product NaCl plus water plus carbon dioxide gas. Let me try to balance. This is already balanced. So in both the reaction with carbonates and bicarbonates, we find that when an acid reacts with a carbonate or a bicarbonate, it evolves the corresponding salt and a gas which is carbon dioxide gas. How do you know it is a carbon dioxide gas? This gas turns, when passed through lime water, it turns white or milky. So in this way we can understand that the gas evolved is carbon dioxide gas. Students, now it is time to understand the pH scale. Now what is pH scale? Now this pH means power of hydrogen ions. pH scale is nothing but it is a scale or an indicator to identify how much acidic or how much basic a compound is. I give you a small example. For example, suppose I have fever, I apply thermometer. When in thermometer I get a temperature of 99, I say I have a mild fever. Suppose I have a temperature of 103 degree Fahrenheit, I will say I have a high fever. So that means with the reading I can understand how much fever I have. Similarly in pH scale, this is a scale. With the reading we can identify how much a substance is acidic or how much a substance is basic. Now this scale is graduated from 0 to 14. 0 to 14. This scale ranges from 0, it starts from 0 and ends to 14. In between this scale, we have a mark of 7. This is the neutral point. Neutral point. Now, what is the importance of this neutral point? As we go down from 7 to 1, that is in this side, the acidic character increases. Okay, in this side the acidic character increases, and when we go from 7 to 14 in this side, the basic character increases. That means when we go to this side it will be more acidic, and when we go to this side it will be more basic. Now 7 is the neutral point, it is neither acidic nor base. The perfect example of 7 is water. Water lies in this point. Now I give you one example. Suppose human blood. The pH value of human blood is 7.4. The pH value of human blood is 7.4. So human blood is slightly basic. Now I give you another example. Suppose lemon juice. The acidic value of lemon juice is 2.2. That means it is acidic. Suppose magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide, the pH value is 10. So it is basic. Tomato, its pH is 4.1. so it is acidic. We drink coffee. Coffee has a pH value of 5, so it is acidic. Carrot juice has a pH value of 6, so I think carrot juice has a pH value of 4. Yes, it is 4. I think it's 4. Yes. Carrot juice is acidic. The cold drinks or the aerated water that we drink buying from the shop, that is also acidic. That's pH value is near about 6, but it's slight acidic, not means strong acidic. So we can say substances which are acidic lies on this side and substances which are basic lies on this side. Now how this pH scale works? We know that a substance will be acidic based on the concentration of hydrogen ions. So more a substance getting shifted to this side, the concentration of hydrogen ion increases, and more the substance shifts from 7 to 14, the concentration of hydrogen ion getting decreased, that is its basic character is getting increased. For example, I told you already, NaOH, sodium hydroxide, it's a strong base. Its acidic value is 14. Its pH value is 14. That means it's a very, very strong base. Concentrated hydrochloric acid, it lies between 0 to 1. So it is strong acid. Suppose saliva. Suppose you were asked a question, human saliva. Human saliva is slightly basic before meal and it is slightly acidic after meal. So human saliva changes. Now some of the very commonly asked question from this pH scale are, suppose you were asked, why do we take antacid when we are suffering from stomach ache? Suppose I have a pain in my stomach, and what we normally do? We normally take an antacid or a tablet like that, so that to give our stomach a bit relief. Now why it happens? These antacids are basically, these are called milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide, MgOH. Due to indigestion, what happens? Due to indigestion, our stomach gets acid. Now, to just neutralize it, what we do? We'll take a mild base. This is called milk of magnesia. We take it so that the acidic action of the stomach is neutralized and we get relief. Now, I will explain the pH of salt. The pH of salts. You have to understand that whenever you already know that acid reacts with base to form salt and water. This I have explained in my first video in neutralization reaction. Now, while we measure the pH scale, what will happen is that when the acid is strong and the base is weak, the salt will be acidic in nature. Clear? When the acid is strong and the base is weak, the salt produced will be acidic in nature. Now the reverse. When the base is strong but the acid is weak, the salt formed will be basic in nature. Clear? This is simple. And also when we react a strong acid and a strong base, that is both these are strong, the salt form will be neutral. That is, it will neither be acidic nor be basic. Now two important salts that is in your syllabus is, One is bleaching powder and another is baking soda. Both these are very important. In bleaching powder, the chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium chlorohypochlorite. Please remember this name, this is important. Bleaching powder, chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium chlorohypochlorite and its formula is CaOCl. How bleaching powder is produced? Bleaching powder is produced by the action of calcium hydroxide and chlorine. Bleaching powder is produced by the action of calcium hydroxide or silicate lime and chlorine. Okay. Another salt that is important for your syllabus is baking soda. Baking soda. What is baking soda? The formula of baking soda is very common thing, NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate. How sodium bicarbonate is produced? Sodium bicarbonate is produced by the action of common salt, sodium chloride, carbon dioxide, water and ammonia gas. So NaCl plus NH3 plus CO2 plus water, it forms sodium bicarbonate. Okay, it forms sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl and ammonium chloride. You know ammonium chloride is a solid. Ammonium chloride is a sublimable solid. So these are the two means salts which are very important on your exam point of view. Basically what comes is that what is the chemical formula, what is its name and how it is formed. So and see the uses from the book, it's pretty simple, you all know the uses. Now the last part that is included in your syllabus is water of crystallization. This is the last part of acid, bases and salt. Now what is water of crystallization? Water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules that is present in a salt. The fixed number of water molecules that can be present in a salt. I give you example. For example, hydrated copper sulfate. Hydrated copper sulfate. It is hydrated copper sulfate is CuSO4, you know copper sulfate, and with it 5 molecules of water remains attached. So it is water of crystallization. For example, washing soda. Washing soda. What is the formula of washing soda? Na2CO3. How many molecules of water is attached to it? 10 molecules of water is attached to it. Okay. Next is gypsum. Gypsum is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. So this is hydrated copper sulfate. This is washing soda. And this is gypsum. So whenever there is some fixed number of water molecules attached to any of the salt, we call it the water of crystallization. I gave you 3 examples. You have found that in copper sulfate 5 molecules of water is attached. So it is hydrated copper sulfate contains 5 molecules of water and it is water of crystallization. Now I will add one last thing to it. If you are asked how we can prepare a plaster of Paris, when this gypsum is heated, we get dry calcium sulfate, that is the plaster of Paris. So students, this is the end of your chapter acid, bases and salt. You go through your books. I think I have covered the entire part. Entire part is covered by me. If any part is left out, any small part is left out, please go through your books. I have also discussed some of the very commonly asked questions. And if you think any other part you are not understanding, or you need more explanation from me, you can give in comments. I will again come back to you and explain it. Again, thanks for watching. If you think this video is helpful for you, do subscribe, give a like to it. It will encourage me, and I will keep posting entire video of your syllabus. Thank you for watching once again.